Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Lou Nelson. I'm a policy associate at the Center for Rural Affairs. I just wanted to do some quick housekeeping. One of my coworkers will be monitoring the chat. I don't know if I'll be able to see it while going live, but they will be flagging some questions to answer at the end. If you are joining us, you probably already know about the center, but just as some quick background, the Center for Rural Affairs is an organization that was founded in 1973 in Nebraska. And since our founding, our mission has been to promote strong and vibrant rural communities and help rural citizens become engaged in decisions that affect the future and health of their communities. And one of those areas includes decisions related to the energy that powers their homes and businesses. And that sort of brings me to the topic that I want to focus on today. At the end of 2019, we completed a fact sheet on energy efficiency in Nebraska. And energy efficiency is one of those, we often call it an underrated topic in energy. And it seems so underrated because on average, US households spend only about $1,400 on electricity. And while that doesn't seem like a significant amount, this can have quite an impact given overall energy burden or the percent of income that a household spends on energy per year. And this is particularly an issue for rural households, as rural households have a disproportionate higher energy burden than metropolitan or urban households. For example, a report from the American Council on an Energy Efficient Economy highlighted that rural households have about a 4.4% energy burden compared to a 3.1% burden in urban areas. And while that doesn't seem significant, the impacts become greater as you add in other demographic effects, such as lower income households, which lower income households in rural areas typically have an average energy burden of 9%. And rural elderly residents have an energy burden that can be as high as 44% compared to non-elderly residents in rural areas. And one of the reasons for increased energy burden can be just lower median household incomes, as well as different effects on energy use and consumption in rural areas. In particular, in Nebraska, rural households have about a 15% lower median income than those in metropolitan areas. And additionally, rural households with children and elderly have a higher rate below the poverty line than in urban areas. And in Nebraska, we actually rank quite a bit higher than you might expect when it comes to residential energy consumption. We are 8th in the nation, and it's also notable that we are about 43rd in the nation for programs that support energy efficiency or ways to cut energy usage or lower energy burden. Now, while it's important to focus on energy efficiency as a potential way to reduce the burden and improve economics, another way to improve economics through energy efficiency is to support jobs that can provide services or support for making energy efficiency improvements or providing new services that will overall lower consumption. And increased demand for energy efficiency and other upgrades has led to a 3.4% job growth in that sector. It's actually one of the fastest growing energy sectors. And in 2019, there were about 54,000 jobs added in the energy efficiency sector. And that brought the total in the entire nation to about 2.38 million. And while many of those jobs are located in more urban areas, many are also located right in the rural communities where a lot of energy efficiency improvements and upgrades would be made. In fact, about 1 million jobs in that energy efficiency sector are located outside of the top 50 metro areas in the US, and about 308,000 were actually located in counties with populations under 100,000. And in Nebraska specifically, the current number is about 13,533 jobs related to energy efficiency. And I think if I read this correctly, it was 508 jobs related to energy efficiency were added in 2019. So, if you'll excuse me one second. While there's a huge economic opportunity to expand the clean energy economy by adding new jobs related to energy efficiency, there is also a need for policy that provides strong support for rural households that want to reduce consumption and also just become more efficient in their energy usage. And these programs can take a variety of forms. Perhaps the easiest step that most consumers can take is to look to their utility and see what their utility already provides in terms of support and services. Many utilities will offer either grants, loans, or even at the most basic level, some kind of assessment or other tool that will allow households to gauge their energy usage and also determine what upgrades would maybe work best for their home. And in some cases, this may even include rebates for specific appliances or other technologies that they can use to gauge consumption, reduce consumption, and overall lower energy bills. For specific policies, though, in Nebraska, the Nebraska Department of Energy and Environment does offer a dollar and energy savings loan program. And this program provides loans through local lenders for a wide variety of different improvements and varying amounts based on the type of improvements that would be made. And it's fairly easy to apply for this loan. I believe one of my coworkers can post the actual link to this program. And it also includes funds for assessments, funds for specific appliance upgrades, and even total home improvements. And one of the positives about making these energy efficiency improvements through loans like this is that as you make these efficiency upgrades, your energy bills will typically lower. And so while you are making this additional loan payment, the loan payment is not a huge burden. And once the term of the loan has been paid off, it is fairly easy to see the actual benefits of those energy efficiency upgrades from just lower energy bills on the whole. And then the final program I wanted to highlight from Nebraska is actually kind of an overarching program called Property Assessed Clean Energy Financing. And this type of financing comes from a program that was passed in 2015 by the Nebraska legislature. This allows a homeowner to make energy efficiency upgrades, but tie the actual financing to the home where the improvements are being made. And one of the benefits of this financing is that it still experiences that same effect that the dollar and energy savings loan and other loan programs will have with energy efficiency upgrades, where energy bills lower, and so there is an overall low monthly impact on increase from any loan that somebody may have taken on. But additionally, this financing is not tied to the homeowner, but instead to the home or property where upgrades are being made. And tying it to the home allows for a homeowner to make those improvements, and then if they wish to sell their home, they no longer are tied to that financing in a way that they would be for other loans. It's instead tied to the property that's actually benefiting from the improvements. And so just to sort of wrap up, I want to note that again, when considering energy efficiency, it's typically called the low-hanging fruit of energy policy, and that's simply because it's easy to reduce consumption and overall cut electric bills. And there is this real impact, though. While it's called low-hanging fruit, the real impact to rural households is cutting monthly expenses, lowering overall burden, especially on lower income or fixed income households, while also generating new economic activity and creating jobs, especially in local areas that can offer contractors or other career fields that can make direct upgrades or provide services that can help cut consumption and overall lower the energy burden for rural households. I'm happy to take any questions. I don't see any questions in the chat, but I see that my coworker Teresa has posted a link to the report from the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy, as well as the Dollar Energy Savings Loan Program from Department of Environment and Energy. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I will provide additional information if possible. And hope you have a nice day.